well, Chief, you told us yesterday that this game could be boring with two teams cancelling each other out. Do you feel it can really live up to the hype of 1v2?
Look, I think the big thing is we've played 3 days prior. They, on Friday, they were on the Saturday. You could tell after, probably 30 minutes, both teams were pretty fatigued. And it was a good contest. I felt as though tactically, we matched each other quite well. They changed back to a back four in the build-up in the second half, and then I had to kind of change, and then we just basically cancelled each other out. So I was a little bit annoyed probably towards the end because I think we still had opportunities to get forward, but unfortunately I had, I just didn't have the right personnel coming off the bench. I could make the impact that I wanted, and I had BK out of position, and I thought he did really well, to be fair. He was covering Penny quite a bit. We're trying to make sure Torres didn't get on the ball, and I thought that worked, but because I sacrificed BK in that position, we lose him up the front. So, still 1v2. We didn't concede, which was really good. I thought there were some really positive moments in that first half. I felt when we found the opposite side, we were quite dangerous, and I think we had maybe 2 or 3 really good cutbacks that, if we go back on the video, we probably should have scored.
Considering the personnel that was missing and the fact you're still top of the table, do you feel like you maybe walk away happier of the two teams?
It's a weird game. It's a weird feeling. Like I think, did we play our best? I'd say probably not. Did the fact that we played a couple of days earlier affect the quality? Yes, but they also went through it. I'm happy we didn't lose, but I go into every game thinking that the 3 points is what we want, what we desire, and I felt like I'll take it, but there was an opportunity to win that game.
And just following, how pleased are you with the defensive performance? Because the Mariners have scored most goals in the league. Torres has been scoring for fun in the lead up to this. I think in the first half, the only shot on target they had was actually offside anyway, so it didn't count. And Wellington just had a couple towards the end there. So against a pretty potent team, the fact they barely had a sniff, that must be pleasing? No,
that was pleasing. So I feel like the game plan did work. But again, I think when defensively you do well, that's a perfect opportunity to capitalise. And I didn't think we counted as well. Mind you, they set up pretty well. Their coach was screaming, the whole time, rest defence, because he's very worried about, our front threat. So I think they alleviated that pretty much for most of the game. So that made it harder for us to get into the game. But again, I'll take the point. No complaints. Boys gave a good stint, and now we've got a really hard game on Saturday.
Talk about the fatigue, Chief, between Friday and now Tuesday. Similar gap now, you're going to play again on Saturday. So how do you make sure fatigue isn't a factor with now 2 games in those players' leagues?
Yeah, so that'll be really up to a good physio and good S&C. They do a good job of making sure that the players are rested. We know their loads. They'll have recovery tomorrow. We're pretty mindful that it's been pretty hard 2 weeks because we have travelled and been away from home, so the boys have been a little bit unsettled. So we'll look at tomorrow just being really easy off feet, then getting all the preparation ready for the -2 and the -1, and just making sure we can cover all the content that we need, and then play the game against West United on Saturday and try to get the 3 points.
So today was first v second, Saturday's first v bottom.
Yes.
So how does the dynamic of the way you prepare for the game change?
Look, we have the mentality for every game that we go in, we try to win, we have our game plan. They were a tough game when we played in, I think it was Ballarat, when we played last, it was the last 10 minutes. Structurally, they're actually a good team. I think they have some very dangerous players, have been very unlucky for a large part. So we go into the game respecting where they're at. The plus side is now I have Ruffer and Paney back, but I also have hopefully Pennington and Mo Alte back, so it gives a bit more fresh legs. That means I can rest some players where I feel it's needed, and then we'll have an injection of new blood.
So Mo obviously couldn't play today.
Yeah.
What was the go?
So when he came off against Brisbane, He was experiencing tightness, and the verdict was that we should have rested him, but then he had a quicker recovery than what we expected. So the plan was to give him some game time, and up until yesterday, there was even the potential would start, but after yesterday's training, he just didn't feel like he was 100%. So with an eye towards Saturday, I felt as though it's too much of a risk. He felt it was too much of a risk, and he wants to play. So we're not in a position at the moment to risk players, because we're still very thin. We have a couple of injuries and we had suspensions. So we just have to manage all that quite delicately, because if we lose one or two important players, where we can be, it can change the whole dynamic of the team.
And what was the thinking behind being Potter in the field as opposed to maybe bringing someone like Finn Conchi?
Well, Finn Conchi played in the end, so.
Starting.
Well, the idea is that Finn Conchi's played 20 minutes in the last month. So to expect a player to start from the beginning against a top two clash, I'd feel as though probably not ready. If he had games in the reserves and we had more conditioning games and so on where I felt like he could last, I would have started him. But I just wasn't confident enough where that's the sort of game to throw him on, and that's also to his own detriment. Because if we throw him on and we expect him to punch out 90 minutes and the game's too quick for him, I don't want to put him in that situation. So I feel like I try to build all the younger players' conditioning and making sure that they're ready to play. Yeah, all good.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thanks guys.